Alright, it's time to end the 5-7 allegations once and for all. I currently have this device hooked up to me that'll beep if I'm over 5-7, but if not, it'll go straight to the intro. Alright, and here we go. What's up guys, it's the first clip of the video. Today we're going to be doing some garden and greenhouse, which is something I haven't done in over like 3 weeks. You know, something I haven't done in about 5 days is check the price of fursuits. Have you guys seen the price of fursuits? I really just am baffled by them. But anyways, I need to lock in guys. I'm gonna be real with you, I need to lock in so badly. Kind of like the Sixers locked in against the Celtics tonight. Really proud of my Sixers even if we're going to lose in 5. But yeah, we just got to lock in, and in fact, we're going to lock in right now. Let's go straight to the milestones. Okay guys, I may have locked in a little too hard because I completely forgot to clip milestone 44. I wasn't even farming, I just was doing my offline pests so I could start farming, and I accidentally got the milestone, and I guess I just wasn't thinking about clipping. So that's on me, but let's hope I don't mess that up again. And also cultivating 9. I just started farming. That milestone came from offline pests. And speaking of milestones, there's a couple things I want to talk about before I actually get into the fact. Since it's been like 3 weeks since my last garden video, I've been killing a ton of pests from the ones that spawn offline and also pest traps. And in doing so, I've accidentally gotten like 2 milestones, so probably should have taken that into consideration, but we live and we learn. That's a saying. It certainly is. All right. But yeah, let me get that fact real quick. See, this is what I'm talking about. I haven't even done the fact yet, and I just got a Wild Rose milestone. You know, they really got to do something about these pests. They should, like, nerf the pest farming fortune scaling by 50%. Nah, but seriously, I do want to talk about the changes that dropped on Alpha today, because I know I'm not the railiest, but I do feel that they're worth talking about. So, before we get into that, in the year 798, and I just want to say I know Roop Dog's gonna love this fact, because they are a fellow Charlemagne glazer. I mean, this isn't even directly about Charlemagne, but in Europe, King Charles the Younger, a son of Charlemagne, conquers Corsica and Sardinia. Guys, this is like LeBron playing with his son in the NBA. Charlemagne was just like that, man. We gotta talk about his reign. This isn't even propaganda, it's just facts. Like, literally. But anyways, enough Charlemagne talk. Let's talk about the alpha thread that was posted today. Because it's mostly positive changes. You know, you have the farming toolkit. People wanted the farming toolkit, including myself. That looks great. Fossil essence, you know, that's certainly interesting. I don't know why it takes so much essence and so much time to max out, considering they barely buffed fossil essence rates, if at all. The only new source of fossil essence, I believe, is that one NPC that you can give a random fossil every day for 50 fossil essence. And that may sound like a lot, but considering the fact that you need 100,000 fossil dust to max out the essence shop, I don't think it is. So I do hope that they at least like go over that aspect again, because I don't know why they chose to make it cost 109,000 fossil dust. That's beyond me. But overall, besides the elephant in the room, I would say this is a pretty well-received update. Now, to address the elephant in the room, and to give my 2 cents on it, you know, it kind of just feels like a billionaire talking about the permanent underclass. Like, oh, you know, the permanent underclass, it's just awful. I really feel for the people who are stuck in such a horrid situation. It's like, bro, you have billions of dollars. What are you talking about? Because for me, I don't farm for money. I haven't done things for money in a very long time because I've been fortunate enough to be spoiled with the generosity of my community. So when we're talking about substantial nerfs to major money-making methods, it's like, yeah, dude, that's really bad, you know? Gotta feel for those guys, including myself. Yeah, I partake in pest farming too. But yeah, that's how I feel. But I do want to know what you guys think about it, because I do find it interesting that they chose to nerf active farming rather than the crops themselves. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys think, because not everything is set in stone, but at the same time, I don't really see them changing much about it before it goes on to main. So we'll have to wait and see, but certainly has gotten people talking. But anyways, let me get back to staring at my screen, because I haven't even been watching the hunting party. I don't know if you guys remember, but I said I was going to be watching the hunting party while farming. I'm on like episode 5. It's actually a really entertaining show. I have found that it is simply not very possible to watch movies and TV shows while doing crop milestones anymore. It's a lost art. Back when crop milestones would take several hours, I would be like, okay, you know what? That's fine, because only every 2 hours do I have to stop what I'm doing and actually focus on the game. But now it's like once every 20 minutes. So it's safe to say that we'll probably have to save the media consumption for another task. And like, look, we just got crop fever. Now I'm focused on crop fever. That's probably the fault of my attention span, but you get what I mean. And I just got a crazy rare drop. Oh my god. Anyways, let's stop actually talking about the game. Let's talk about year 799, because we just got Moonflower 45. So in year 799, honestly, not much happened. Like, I'm looking at the events, it's pretty slim. But in Europe, the Vikings raid the...
Noirmoutier.
What? What?
Noirmoutier.
Alright, let's take it from the top. The Vikings raid the island of Noirmoutier and attack the monastery of Saint Philibert of Jumeillez. It's not good. Listen, these pronunciations, they're not good, but I'm trying. If there are any bilingual French speakers watching this, please let me know how I did. But anyways, next milestone's the last milestone, so I guess I'll see you guys in about 12 minutes. Hey guys, it's been about 12 minutes, and there's currently about 40 seconds to go until we hit Moonflower 46. You know, when I was maxing the garden out for the first time, I'd usually have some triumphant speech every time I'd max out a crop because it was a long time coming, but really, it wasn't a long time coming. This took like, I don't even know, maybe like 7 hours of farming, but regardless, we've completed it. That's nice. And most importantly of all, in the year 800, on December 25th in Europe, Charlemagne, King of the Franks, is crowned Holy Roman Emperor by Pope Leo III as Charles I, with the title Emperor of the Romans. The coronation takes place during Mass at the Basilica of St. Peter in Rome on Christmas Day. The Frankish Empire is formed in Western Europe, which is not recognized by Empress Irene at Constantinople. This then triggers a series of disputes with the Byzantines around, who is officially ruling the former Western Roman Empire. That was a lot of words, but listen, good for Charlemagne, man. Very fitting that he was crowned the very year we finished Moonflower milestones. It's almost like that was my plan from the start. Nah, I'm kidding, it wasn't. That was just a coincidence. With Moonflowers maxed, I guess we can check our milestones, if I could type. And we'd see we have an average crop milestone of 43.46, which is, it's pretty good. And seeing that we're already perfectly fit to farm it, I don't see why we shouldn't pivot directly to sunflowers. As a matter of fact, let's do that right now. I mean, the only thing we have to do, I believe, is just change our time. Which I will say, I'm not that fond of the sun in Skyblock. I don't know, the dim night sky, it's just a lot easier on the eyes. Like, this is just an eyesore to me. Am I the only one? I don't know. I hope not. But regardless, this is what we're gonna have to live with for the foreseeable future. Maybe it'll motivate me to get through these milestones faster, because it did take me 40 days to max out Moonflowers. But before we get into farming sunflowers, I think it's time we address the greenhouse, because I know there's already some of you who have commented about it. I know, we need to tend to it, let's tend to it. So it's been about 3 weeks since I last checked my greenhouse, and you know, I think it shows. Something tells me, okay, you know what? This place is actually pretty lively, minus the magic jelly bean part. But let's move on to plot 3, and yeah, this looks like a replica of plot 1. Alright, so starting with my first greenhouse plot, I'm gonna make another attempt at getting a glass corn, which involves 4 startle vines, 4 chloronites, and last but most definitely not least, sand for it to grow on. I was not aware that it requires sand and promptly lost about 40 mil. So don't be like me. I think the entire takeaway from this greenhouse arc is just don't do what I do. Also, I didn't count properly. We need 6 chloronites and 6 startle vines. So with this, we should have a glass corn sometime soon. And in the same plot, I'm gonna grow a flesh trap, which requires 4 cinder shades and 4 lone lilies. And I believe this is about my 3rd or 4th attempt at growing a flesh trap, so hopefully it's my last time. But with that, we have our first greenhouse plot out of the way, and I think it's time we address the magic elephant in the room. So when I presented what I thought was an ingenious design in v107, I kind of forgot about the word adjacent and its meaning, because as you can see, the magic jelly bean's growing in a corner, and all of these cacti, which have an effect that retains watering status of adjacent crops by 100%, are not necessarily adjacent to it. So we can improve upon it, and that's what we're gonna do right now. As a matter of fact, I think I'll snap my fingers. And here's the finished product. Very flattering, I know. I really only made one change, which is relocating the magic jelly bean's crops into the middle so that the cacti's buffs will actually be doing something. However, there is still a change I haven't made, and I would have never made it had it not been for Koi the Fishy. I was searching through my comments for tips, and Koi the Fishy pointed out that the crops that surround the magic jelly bean only need to be there to spawn the magic jelly bean. So once it's spawned, I can just remove it. You're probably thinking to yourself, Rem, how did that not pop into your head sooner? I don't know. But the good news is, with the help of this rosewater flask in my inventory, we should be able to spawn a magic jelly bean bud right now. Thank God that worked. I was really riding on that working. So now that it's spawned, we can actually get rid of all the sugarcane along with the 3 dusk blooms. And in their place, I'll put 8 cacti. And if we water the magic jelly bean now, I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's see. Oh my God. 1 day and 15 hours. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, I have a good feeling about this time. There's no more excuses. I mean, there were no more excuses after like the 3rd attempt, but now there are really no more excuses. So all I have to do is just check in at least once every like 40 hours and we should be fine. That's great. So with that out of the way, I think it's time we finally get to farming some sunflowers. Is what I would say if I was lying. It's actually time for the Osu intermission. Oh, yo, they call me the next flying tuna, bro. Hit that twice in a row. My streaming is getting better, I just need to work on my accuracy, because oh my god, does it suck. Like, come on, dude. That is not a good look, but you know what? It's fine. What's up, guys? This is not about me anymore. The remainder of this Osu intermission is going to my friend Siege. He's Angel Devil. He's on the right side of the screen. This is the tiebreaker. This is the grand finals. If he wins, he gets, like, I don't know, some amount of Osu supporter or something. But that's huge. Have you seen the price of Osu supporter these days? It's actually not that bad. It's not even about the prize. It's about sending a message. I was gonna hype it up, but he's kind of running away with this right now, so I'll see you guys when the map ends or if anything interesting happens between that time.
100% certain right now, Angel Devil will be the winner of Lobby 2.
You hear that? He's the winner. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. But guys, comment, good job, Angel Devil. Comment that. If there's anyone watching this, comment that. Because he did a good job. He did a great job, but that's it. Oh, okay, now he's won for sure. Just had to put that in there. Welcome back from the Osu intermission, and to those who skipped it, you really thought you could just skip past the Osu intermission to get right to the sunflower milestones. Well, you thought right, because it's actually time to go. Now, there's a couple things I'd like to mention before we get to the next milestone, with the first being that sunflower milestone facts are starting on the year 884, and the last crop, Wild Rose, will be starting on the year 982. So, as I've mentioned before, this will be in a pop quiz. In fact, one of the questions have already been in a pop quiz, so be wary. And one more thing, let's do a little stat check real quick. Let's see how our Rose Dragon's doing. It's currently level 127, which is about a third of the way there, so we're making pace. Not good pace, but we're making pace. And while we're at it, let's check Pest Bestiary, because I haven't really looked at it much. Oh, so we're about 14 dragonflies away from maxing it out. And by it, I mean the base Pest Bestiary. And once we've done that, we'll only have Zombuddy and Timestalk clones to do. So those are for mutations. I don't know which, but I do know they're for mutations, so we'll address them when the time comes. But with those things out of the way, I'll see you guys in about 4 minutes for Sunflower 31. Alright, well, Crop Fever had other plans, because that was not 4 minutes. But anyways, it's time for a fact from the year 884. Now, considering the fact that we've skipped ahead 84 years, we have a bit of catching up to do. And I'd like to open things by breaking the news that Charlemagne, he died. He died in the year 814, so I'm a little late to break the news. But after Charlemagne died, Louis the Pious, being the only surviving son of Charlemagne, became the sole ruler of the Franks. Louis would go on to reign for a good amount of time, but ultimately died in the year 840. And following Louis's death, the empire was divided into autonomous kingdoms, with one king still recognized as emperor, but with little authority outside his own kingdom. And that brings us to the year 884, where on December 12th in Europe, Carloman II, a member of the Carolingian dynasty, dies after a hunting accident. He is succeeded by his cousin, Emperor Charles the Fat, who for the last time reunites the Frankish Empire. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out, because beyond this point, I don't know, it just feels like things are up in the air. But anyways, enough about the Frankish Empire. I'll see you guys in about 8 minutes for Sunflower 32. Well, it's been a lot longer than 8 minutes, but regardless, we got Sunflower 32. And let me just say, the year 885 was absolutely insane. So in the summer in Europe, Emperor Charles the Fat summons a meeting of officials at Lobeth and accuses Hugh, an illegitimate son of former King Lothair, and his vassal Godfried, Duke of Frisia, of plotting against him. Hugh is blinded and exiled to the Abbey of St. Gall. Godfried is killed by a group of Frisian and Saxon nobles at the connivance of the Henry of Franconia. The local count, Gerolf, takes over the West Frisian coastline from the Danish after the murder. God damn, that's only one of the 2 major events that happened in the summer of 885 in the Frankish Empire. I'm not joking. That's insane. But anyways, let's hope 886 is just as insane, because I'm liking this. It's like a soap opera. No, it's not. Anyways, I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes and it's time for the final fact of the video. So in the year 886, in the Byzantine Empire, you thought I was going to say Europe. Now we're ending things off with the Byzantine Empire, because it's been a very long time since we talked about them. On August 29th, Emperor Basil the Macedonian dies from a fever contracted after a hunting incident. He is succeeded by the 19-year-old Leo VI, officially Basil's son, but reputedly a son of former Emperor Michael III, as sole ruler of the Byzantine Empire. After his coronation, Leo reburies the remains of his reputed father Michael, with great ceremony in the Imperial Mausoleum within the Church of the Holy Apostles in Constantinople. That's crazy. I don't got much more to say, but that's I mean, geez, man. Dying from a fever? Like, I know that still happens, but like before modern medicine, you know, sometimes if you got a paper cut, it's wraps. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. Anyways, I think it's time I stop rambling and get to the outro. Oh hey, we maxed out Dragonfly just as we ended the video. Or I guess just as I'm about to end the video. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for sticking up to this point. I hope the history fact enthusiasts enjoyed this video, as I feel like a lot of this video was just history facts, but expect more of where that came from, considering I do still have a good amount of milestones ahead of me. And also, this is kind of random, but let me know if you want me to do island reviews again, because I used to do them a lot back in 2024, but I just randomly stopped, and I don't know why. They're a lot more interesting than the ordinary outro, but anyways, thanks again for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it may be for you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.